What up, YouTube? Agent Persuasion here, and I'm back with another profile for you guys. It's been a hot minute since I played at locals, but I've been playing actually the past 3 or 4 tournaments, so I've been trying to top with a super spicy deck. I know you guys are going to be super happy I played. I'll give you 5 seconds to guess in the comments. Alright, we played Cosmo. Big surprise, one of my favorite decks. Yeah, I just had to play it one more time just to try to get a top with this. So it's been a while since I played. The last time I played was Mech Knights, and I kept winning with that deck, so it got boring. So I just took a big break. I haven't played those for a hot minute, but recently, the past week or two, I've been playing a couple tournaments. So this is my 4th one, and I think I finally found the deck, the version I liked. So I'm just gonna go ahead and share it with you guys. So we went 4-0 undefeated at my locals. Unfortunately, we don't play the 5th round because it's too long, but I got 2nd place after tiebreakers, but I did go undefeated. I went 4-0, had to beat some pretty hard opponents today, so we had to go through the good old Josh. He's pro, our remote duel representing playing virtual, which he was playing virtual. Horrible matchup. Thank God he bricked game 3, otherwise I would have definitely got floored. But yeah, let's go ahead and just get into the profile. You guys already know. Alright, shout out to Pete Navarro for giving me this this really expensive field center that I'm going to keep enjoying because it has that's an Ash Blossom on there. It's probably hard to see, but Ash Blossom and Ghost Reaper, and it's metal, so it's pretty nice. Shout out to you, Pete. Thank you for letting me have that as a gift. So as you guys know, bread and butter, you can't have a Cosmo deck without literally the best card in the deck. Cosmo Dart Destroyer, can't be targeted chip, giant ass 3000 attack. You can't target it, and then if you destroy it by battle card effect, I can banish from my gravest cost to special summon level 7 or lower Cosmo from my deck to the field. Amazing card. This is how you outgrind your opponents. It's hard to grind in this format, but this card is a very oppressive card once it gets there. So yeah, very good card. Cosmo Dart Destroyer. And also shoutouts to the Senzu Bean I took round 2. Yeah, we got there. We went undefeated. Shout out to the Senzu Beans. You already know. Shout out to the bro that has these. You already know. Senzu Beans got me there. The random one of the Cosmo Eclipser. This just helps me versus the rogue matchups that play traps. This is going to help me grind through that deck a lot easier than without having it. So I just like this because it doesn't force you to play things like Harpy's Feather Duster and stuff to against back row decks. Next up, we got the one Forerunner. Same thing. Helps you grind. Gains light points, so it helps you in time if you're getting there, because Cosmo do not have a particularly good time in time. So yeah, you lose in time without cards like these. And also that's untargetable. And this is where the Cosmo lineup gets a little different, because this version is Cosmo with Spice, so it's Cosmos, but you'll see the Spice in a little bit. One Slip Rider is, once again, it's just like Eclipser. Use it for the back row grind. Next up, we got 2 Cosmo Dark Lady. This is a pay 1,000 to negate and destroy a monster effect, and it also can banish itself to special summon level 6 or higher Cosmo, so it can summon Dark Destroyer, Eclipser, Forerunner. Yeah, this card's amazing. It's very oppressive. 2200 attack, very hard to kill this thing. So yeah, this is how one of my win cons. I usually like to have this in my other Spice cards you'll see. So Cosmo Dark Lady is a 2 of in this deck for sure, because you're using it to control the game. One Farm Girl, you already know, one of the best E-Telly targets in the deck, so we gotta play her to be able to OTK or set up plays for your opponent's next turn. And next up, the best normal summon in Cosmos is the Wind Can. You already know, he's vaping. He was vaping before vaping was cool. End phase, you can pay 500 light points, select 3 Cosmo cards. Your opponent selects one of them, the other one go to your hand, and then the other 2 go to the graveyard, and it's a wind-up rabbit effect to banish, quick play, run away. So yeah, Wind Can. You already know, this card's best. And then, of course, this is the Cosmo lineup, so that's all my Cosmos, monsters. And then we're playing the Spice, and you guys already know. We're playing Dogmatika cards, because my deck doesn't summon from the extra deck, so shout out to Jesse for letting me borrow most of these Dogmatika cards. This card, Ecclesia, this is also just another starter in my deck. I can normal summon this, search Punishment or Floor or any of these other cards that can help disrupt my opponent. And not to mention, like, this card is just like super annoying to kill. If you're playing the extra deck, then trying to kill this with the extra deck monster is kind of impossible. So yeah, try to kill this by battle with the extra deck monster. It doesn't happen. It won't die. So yeah, Ecclesia, amazing card. And amazing to let you go second too. So if you open Wind Can, so open this and Wind Can and we go in second, The good thing is they probably have an extra deck monster. You can build a special summon that, and you have Tin Can and Ecclesia. So you have just impressive +1s for your turn. So yeah, 3 Ecclesia is a must. Next up, we got the 2 Fluor. So I play 2 Fluors because I play actually a lot of Dogmatika monsters. So you'll see, I had the 3 Ecclesia, this 2, the non-targetable, the non-targeting negate to out Dragoons and stuff, and then also make my dudes huge by boosting of attack. You play 2 of these. And then of course the God card. I kind of want to play 2 of this, but it kind of got too bricky. So instead of playing the 2 Maximus, I play another card I'll show you in a second. But this card, I don't use my extra deck, so hopefully my opponent doesn't have cards to plus too much off of this. But if they don't, usually I'm in a really good position. And the last card I decided to substitute for Maximus was actually this card that no one actually really plays in Dogmatika cores because it's not needed. But yeah, I play the 1 Aiden, which is kind of like a giant rat. When destroyed by battle or card effect, you special summon any Dogmatika. So I actually wanted, instead of playing 2 Maximus, I just kind of threw in the Aiden instead. So that way I can ram it, or if you kill it on my turn, I can summon Ecclesia and search on your turn as well. The card has really good value. I actually like this card a lot. Yeah, I can destroy it myself too with Dark Destroyer and search as well. So cool plays with that. It doesn't have to be my opponent's card effects. But that's to spice the Dogmatika engine. And the last monster in my main deck is Artifact Scythe because we're playing traps. Weird. Alright, so that rounds out the monsters. Next up we got the spells. Ain't a Cosmo deck without Cosmo Town. You already know. I cut it down because it was kind of bricky. I've played a few Cosmos, but like using the Cosmos to control the game, you don't need it to play every time. I just like the really cool niche plays you can do with the Deer Serpent, popping this, searching a Tin Can or something, or Dark Destroyer, you already have it. But yeah, this card's amazing. But you don't need too many. You don't need 3. Not in this version. Of course, the E-Telly, shout out to James, I still stole this card. Give me your other 2, thank you. And then the God card, this card, the Deer Servant. Shout out to Jesse again. This is whole core. Dogmatika cards are just really good. Like opening this and like a Tin Can is so good, guys. Using my extra deck as utility cards is amazing. But this is one of my favorite cards in the deck. The Deer Servant. You open this card, you're doing good. And the next card that goes good with the Deer Servant, Extravagance. While it could banish all 3 of something, it could happen. This is just more ways to play the game. You will not be activating this recklessly. Like if you banish 6 turn 1 and then you have another one, you won't always banish 6 the next one. You just do like 3 to make sure you still have extra deck cards for your Deer Servant and stuff, so you can keep playing. But you play this card just as a starter. So we play 3 Extravagance. And then the next card, the last card, is another pot card. We're going to old school though. We're playing 2 Pot of Duality. This is just another card to let me play the game if I drew a weird hand. But it doesn't cost me my extra deck, so I actually liked it because I actually don't special summon a lot, as you would think in a Cosmo deck, but we don't special summon that much. We just like a turtle up on trap cards. And that rounds out the spell cards. That's a lot of spells for a Cosmo deck, I guess. The best lineup in my deck is the trap cards. This is a stun variant, so we're trying to stun them with Cosmo Dogmatika. That's what we're trying to do. This card's amazing start if you don't have no Deer Servant because it'll get the Titaniclad to grave or an Entis pop to pop another card. It just sets you up. So this card's amazing to open, so that's why we play 3. Next up we have 3 Back to the Front, and we're playing this over Call the Haunted because it is a normal trap, which you'll see why we're playing that instead of Call the Haunted. But this card's amazing because you won't lose the Twin Twisters, so you can just chain this and it won't be attached to your monster. So 3 Back to the Front for the Cosmos and the Dogmatikas. This works really good with both decks, so you can summon back Ecclesia, search on that turn as well. Next up, we play 2 Artifact Sanctum to summon out that Scythe. Just win a die roll, set traps, win games. Don't let your opponent summon from the extra deck. Yeah, Sanctum's nice. Next up, we have the 2 Torrential Tribute. Just more blowout cards. Yeah, my deck is one of those slow-paced decks, so I gotta play as many blowout cards as possible, which is why you gotta see the next card. The next card is the next blowout. 2 Stormy Mirror Force. People do not respect Mirror Force cards in 2021, so this is the perfect time to punish them. So, shout out to Stormy Mirror Force for winning me a couple games. This card's amazing. And then the reason why you saw all those trap cards is because they are all trap trickable. they are all normal trap cards. So literally all these cards right here, you can trap trick. So whatever situation I need, if I need the Sanctums, if I need the Punishment, I need the Torrential or the Mirror Force, I have these options because I have more copies of trap trick to beat any of these cards. Sometimes, of course, these 2-ofs, you could draw one, it'll be dead, but still, it's the fact that it can be either a back to the front or a punishment to keep you alive is the most important part. And that rounds out the deck. The main deck is 46 cards. It sounds really crazy. I just play so many 3-ofs. It's just like it worked out for me though. Because I was playing a 40 card deck and I just didn't have enough Cosmo monsters to deal with stuff. Like I needed Slip Rider a couple times. I needed like weird stuff like that. But that rounds out the main deck, 46 cards. Next up is the extra deck. Shout out to the Goku. And you already know. Senzu Beans plus Goku. You already know. We got 3 Entis. This whole extra deck is pretty much not even summonable. It's just utility for all my cards. So of course this and Punishment and the Dear Servant, amazing. Maximus, amazing. Pop out cards. Still only own one of this, but it was actually fine. Didn't never need the other one. But this is basically removed from the grade to pop up monster on your opponent's side of the field. Amazing card as well. One of the best cards. Shout out to Rick for letting me borrow these other 2 and Jesse for the 1. And then I still have a 2 Titanic class from Nick. So shout outs to you guys for letting me borrow Titanic class because I don't own any of these cards. So appreciate it. Yeah, Titanic class, using this to pressure my opponent with Dogmatika cards is amazing. And then the next card that allows your grind deck to grind with everything because they will not be able to destroy your cards by battle or card effect without you interrupting them after they kill it, because this card is a freaking annoying. Like once you start sending these with Maximus and Entis, or not Entis, Maximus and the Dear Servant and Punishment, people will like forget you send this and they do something reckless and then you just banish just to protect yourself from dying and bounce a card to their deck because that's what this card does. Yeah, this card's underrated but amazing in a deck that doesn't use the extra deck because you get to send all these to the graveyard. The best card to send, that one always gets banished off of extravagance for some reason, but this card's amazing. Omega. And then here's a weird addition. So I just kept watching all these Tri-Brigade players setting this and like Bear Bloom, and they were using their effects off by Maximus. I was like, oh snap, I need to be playing that card too. So you get to draw and put a card on the bottom. So that's why you play Baron Blossom, because you can dig out further. If you didn't extravagance that turn, you can dig a little further. There's times where I drew Scythe and I drew it, I put it on the bottom so that my Sanctum was still alive, so we're good. Yeah, no, Baron Blossom's pretty good. And then these are just the flex spots. So I played one Unroll Goddess, which actually came up once. I outed a Dragoon by just swarming the board with a bunch of Dogmatika cards. So shout out to that. We outed that damn thing because we just slinked it off after I had 4 monsters and used his Dragoon to make this with 5 monsters. So this card can come up. But yeah, you don't need this. This is a flex spot. But you'd probably want it to be a big monster. That's why my last monster is a 5-headed Link Dragon, because it's 5,000 attack. People don't think you're playing cards that are too big, but just in case they summon some big ass thing that you can't out. So that's why you play that. And then for side deck, we have the 2 Drone Lockbird, because they're never going to let me go first again. So I expect to go second every game. But I'm not mad if they let me go first, because that means my deck's going to do what it's supposed to do, set traps. So we got the 2 Droll. We got the 2 Lancia, because my locals is crazy full of Virtual World, Tri-Brigade, all these decks that actually do stuff. So Lancia is like the best card versus them. Plus Sanctum is more copies of this with Trap Trick, so I don't need a side 3. My favorite side deck card, because I drew this card very few times, and I drew this card a lot. So I drew Driver more than Gamma, but this is actually one of the better hand traps to play. So I just need high impact hand traps versus people that are making me go second. So I can at least try to attempt to stop them a little bit. And then of course, we play Nibiru, because Cosmo can play this card very well. Tagging out plays very amazing. And then we got the 1 Heartbeat Feather Duster. Mainly this is an Optimistic Mind, because I think that's the card that I probably had the worst matchup against. But like, no one really Mystic Minds me, surprisingly, so we're good. We're good. Next up we have Waking the Dragon. This is also another card for Trap Trick, because they got decided in back row hate for days, and I literally resolve Waking the Dragon almost all the time, because if they dust you, you chain Trap Trick, set this. So then you get to still special summon like Scythe after that, and then you still get to keep playing. Or you can summon something from the extra deck if you know what your matchup is. So yeah, you can do all kinds of crazy things with Waking Dragon, but this makes them think twice about popping your back row. which is all I need half the time. And then the last trap is a card that lets me go second, and I can trap trick it. So that's why we're playing it like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck. Yeah, you already knew I had to make a Cosmo deck. I know you guys have been waiting for it forever. I know you guys missed me summoning this guy on my channel. But yeah, Cosmo Dogmatika for you guys. So pretty much that's about it. Went undefeated, but got second place due to tiebreakers. So me and Caleb would have played the 5th round, played it out. We'll see who would have happened, but he got first place due to tiebreakers. So still went undefeated though, so I'm happy about it. I can finally play something else now because I just wanted to show you guys that Cosmos can still compete if you guys keep trying to play your rogue decks. Don't give up on it because like you're just gonna get there if you keep trying like I did. It took me 3 or 4 tournaments to get there, but I just kept changing the deck more and more and more, finding more spicy ideas, like the Baron Blossom. That's kind of cool. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Second place, undefeated, 4-0, Cosmo Dogmatika. Give me a thumbs up. I know you guys are excited when you saw me play this deck. But yeah, I'll keep playing Rogue if you guys really want me to. Just leave a comment down below what you guys think I should play. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Thoughts on ban list that's coming up soon. God knows it's coming soon. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. We're signing out. Peace.